What's up, everybody?
Check.
Woo. Feels weird being on this side.
Oh, no, you're on this side.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage.
Feels good to be here.
Feels good. All right, so for those who's heard of Dad Gang? Anybody? A few people. Hey, some dads in the room. All right. For those who have not heard of Dad Gang, can you just quickly explain maybe the concept before the hat? Because I think that's what's really cool too.
Yeah. So I'm Bart, one of the co-founders of Dad Gang here with Ejay, and honestly, we got tired of going on social media and seeing funny stuff for dads. It was just, no offense to anybody, but Nike Monarchs and mowing the lawn and mustaches and dad bods and dad jokes. And it was like, I was a new dad at the time of a 1-year-old and another one on the way. I was like, none of this is funny, none of this not sleeping, trying to figure out who I am as a dad, trying to, figure it out with my partner on what to do. None of it's, I'm not going on Instagram and laughing about it. And so we're just kind of like, okay, enough with the funny stuff. Can we make something that celebrates fatherhood for everything that it is? And so we were in a text thread and we were always talking about, Ejay would be like, oh man, I went to work, I went on a run, the kids are crazy, the day's nuts, and I need to vent to you guys. And it was kind of like, oh man, we got your back, you're gonna handle it, Dad Gang, what are you gonna do? And we just kept saying that. I would struggle with things, Grant, our other co-founder, would struggle with living in California, having friends up here, and just dealing with being a new dad. And Dad Gang kept sticking, and we're like, hey, let's put that on a hat. So
really that simple.
There wasn't any grand idea to build a company whatsoever. It was always like, we're in a text thread, we're talking all the time, we're giving each other shit. We're not just talking about dad stuff, and it's a fun thread, but we're all into headwear and streetwear and sports and fashion, and let's make a hat, not only a hat that just has a logo on it, but a hat that's quality, a hat that a dad is proud to wear, a hat that a dad will pick out daily as the one he wants to wear. And so we made 100 hats and posted it on Instagram. Wow, just crazy marketing strategy, right? And from there, it kind of took off with friends and family buying. When you start a business, if you have good friends and family, they'll usually support you. And so 100 hats sold out in
36 hours.
36 hours, yeah. And at the time, I think we were all excited, but understood that that's not a business. It's just like, oh, my dad bought a hat, my mom bought a hat, neighbor down the street bought a hat, cool. But let's try it again. And we tried it again, and still familiar orders, friends and family, but they sold out in a week. And we just kept going and going and going to the point where we're like, okay, dads do want this. They do want a community of dads they can vent to and share their problems and lean into each other and have a community. So now we have to keep building this thing because we're letting down other dads. And so that's kind of where it stemmed from. A silly text thread saying Dad Gang to a lot of hats sold.
Literally was like, can you make a logo? I'm like, yeah, I want to make some hats.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I love this. So real quick for context, how many years ago was this? 2 years?
It was May of 22 is when we got, or I guess April of 22 is when we got our first samples.
So we're about 2 years in, and how many hats have you sold in 2 years?
I checked this morning. 291,000.
Wow.
I have that number.
I didn't even know that number.
That's a lot of hats.
Operations brain.
That's a lot of hats.
Yeah.
And Ejay, we talk about this a lot, but I love y'all's creativity and just kind of beginner's mindset. When people come and work at MiiR in the first 90 days, I sit down and I say, I'm going to talk to you in 90 days and I want you to tell me everything that's wrong. I mean, give me some love and some flowers and tell me what's good, but I want to know what's wrong because you have a beginner's mindset because you've seen things perfectly fresh. And I feel like you guys approach this business perfectly fresh where you're like, we don't need a marketing strategy, we don't need this, we don't. How did you source it? Did you just go to Alibaba? What was the thought?
You had a mutual friend that just kind of connected a factory, is really what it was. I mean, my career, I've sourced anything and everything for decoration to cups to all the stuff.
Yep.
And hats were one of those things, but he ended up having a really good factory. And so we just literally just order some samples. I mean, it's all on like WeChat, and
Totally.
we don't even know who they are.
100%.
And we're like, I hope they show up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember those feelings. Who's had those days on Entrepreneur? I hope it shows up. Yeah,
like,
totally.
We just PayPal'd some money over to these guys. We'll see what happens. But I remember when he got the hat and he like took a video of it and he's like, it fits perfect. It's like a great hat.
And now I have a huge head like this thing right now.
Yeah, where's Stinger at? He's our test dummy. But the approach of it was like we wanted to make it simple. Our lives are already complicated enough. If we're going to do something like this, we have 20 plus years of experience of going through all the struggles. How about we find a way to just make it simple?
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
Yeah.
Obviously outsourcing some things is possible. 3PLs are possible. So, you ultimately become hands off, but the strategy behind it, the strategy is like, Bart, what are you posting today? He's like, I don't know. I'll find out by 5.
I will say, like, sometimes we've had like some articles written about the brand, and it's like 100 hats to 291,000 hats. It's great, and we're super appreciative of everything and feel blessed that we're a part of it. But I don't want anybody to take it away as like they started a company and it blew up, right? Like, we've all done things for a long time. Ejay's been in operations. He's older, like a lot older than me. And he
29.
He's been in operations forever. I've been doing marketing forever. Grant, our third partner, has been in sales and customer service and content and marketing also for a long time. So I think amongst the three of us, it's like 40 years of experience if you add it up. And then it's applying that to things you don't want to do when starting a new business, because you're learning those lessons along the way. So I think that's like has to be discussed, because otherwise I don't want anybody to be led astray, whether it's online or here, that like, oh, let's just slap a logo on a hat and it's going to take off. It's a lot of lessons combined of what not to do.
Yes.
And then, but we still screw up along the way. So
Totally. Well, let's talk about that, because I think we all in what's amazing is the democratization of information and technology and access. You can find a factory, set up a shop, Shopify. You can be on market in a week, right? 2 weeks. So the barrier to entry has been reduced, and so there's more competition. There's also commodification of everything that's being made. So you do face competitors. We face competitors. We face people who copy us all the time and try to get away with it. But it doesn't seem to last. And I've seen that there's been other people who are, oh, this dad thing, that dad thing, and it's just it just pops and fizzles. What's the mindset? Because it's the experience, but I feel like there's a deeper thing here with you guys of like, it's not just a hat, it's more than a hat, because people have tried to copy you.
Actually, it's in here still. Is it in this one? Oh, it's not in this one. We actually added more than a hat. We added more than a hat into
Very cool.
the actual inside of the label.
Permission marketing.
Because it became this, for the copycats, you have to have some soul and authenticity behind it. So if they're popping up after we popped up, we already built 10,000 people in this VIP Facebook group that is that hub for all of the dad discussions. And so if somebody pops up with another dad brand, it almost looks like they're just copying.
Right.
And if they have some soul and authenticity, they will last. But otherwise, it's like, oh, another dad brand just popped up. And so we try to lean more into the community more so than anything, because that really is the oxygen behind it. Without the community behind it, I don't think this is as powerful as it is.
Yeah. Give the audience a perspective on this Facebook group. I joined it recently. Thanks for letting me in.
That was
I had to re-sign up for Facebook after I deleted it for 10 years to get our ads working, which are still a whole thing. But thanks Meta for that. But I'm in the group. It's fascinating. Describe it for the community here.
yeah, I started the Facebook group talking to a buddy of mine. He asked me this question that kind of made me wake up to the community we're building, and he said, hey, you guys are doing great, you're growing, but where are you? Where is your community? And I was like, well, we have followers on Instagram, and we have followers here, and we have customers. And I'm like, all right, Bart, point me to where they are. And they're not anywhere at that point. They're just followers and people floating around buying hats. And he's like, you have to put them into one place, whether it's a Facebook group or some big chat or something like that. Put them somewhere. And so I just started this Facebook group because we did still sell out of hats, and then they were out of stock, and then potential customers would be pissed that they're not available. and we kind of loved it because it created demand. But at the same time, we're like, join this group so we can tell you when hats are coming back. Because it just seemed like a redundant social content piece to just keep telling people dates, not that entertaining. So I just made this group to have everybody in it, to give them behind the scenes information, when hats are coming. But the key thing from this group is it's turned into like a dad advice group. We talk about which hats are coming out. We've talked about restocks and all these things, but we've also had dads say, hey, we're going on a flight with a 1-year-old. Any tips? And they get 90 comments of what to do on that flight. Or my daughter was starting pre-K. I know the weirdest feeling of like, is she gonna be okay? How am I gonna feel? How is she gonna feel? Is she gonna have a good day? Is she crying over there? So I asked the dads, like, how do I handle this? And they just chime in and, hey man, settle down. You gotta realize everybody does this. You'll go through it and it'll be fine and she'll probably love it. And it's just like this group of dads that maybe want hat info, which is great, but I love it for the fact that we're building community that cares about each other and dads can go to, just like our text thread. We just vented and helped each other. Now there's 10,000 dads doing that in one place.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the deeper aspect of the brand there because it'll give longevity to the brand for sure. Is it still a big old goose egg on the marketing spend?
No, it's not. It's definitely not. It was for a while.
But like for the first year, you didn't spend any money on marketing.
No, the only thing I did was boost our best organic social content for like $10 a day.
So $10 a day, you're building a hat empire.
Yeah. I mean, we're still full-time jobs, still trying to figure out a lot of things, and no ad spend whatsoever. But the first post I put up was a picture of a Dad Gang hat explaining why we started the group, kind of like I said in the beginning. And I would just boost that post to profile visits rather than conversions. Because one, we didn't have any hats to sell after 100 flew. And then second, I just like, if I'm going to build an audience, the intent should be to build the audience, not to get sales. And at $10 a day, we could swing it. And then as long as I was getting more followers than dollars spent, so I spent $10 and got 20 followers, I'd definitely do it again because people would come in, want that hat, and then once it was available again, they'd buy it. But yeah, no real ad strategy. I'd say like 7 months in, I've been doing this for a while, but started actually hopping into Ads Manager and running ads and getting Klaviyo or Attentive and all these other email platforms going. But yeah, I know organic is thrown around a lot in marketing, but it just really was.
Yeah.
Start.
I love that you focused on the followers. That feels so old school to like 2010 when I was building MiiR on Facebook. It was all about followers. It wasn't about sales. It was about building your followership. And it sounds very old school these days.
Yeah, I've been on like podcasts and stuff and tell other marketers I've done this, and they're like, I don't know. They think it's a stupid strategy, very clearly.
Clearly, it's been working.
Yeah,
I love that. In the details, what's the tech stack? I mean, from the outside, you could be like, oh, all these people. It's you three. You're on Shopify. You're on Klaviyo. Like, what does it look like behind the scenes?
Yeah. So I came from before Dad Gang. I came from a VP of marketing for a few companies and head of growth for agencies. And I would see, like, on the agency world, I worked for 30 brands in 2 years, and I saw the unnecessary stress. Speaking, Hannah just mentioned a lot about stress, but she mentioned how the kindergartner builds better buildings than the adult under stress. And it was kind of like, okay, we've experienced all the stress of building companies. I've witnessed 30 brand owners and what they go through. Sometimes necessary, but sometimes you're just inventing goals that weren't there yesterday. And so I was like, take that kindergartner mindset and let's take away all of the unnecessary stress in building this thing. And Ejay, Grant, can we just do this by ourselves for a while until stuff is necessary? So I packed hats in my garage until my wife gave birth to our son, then passed it off to Ejay for Black Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a little note about that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh yeah, I'm having a baby. It's also busy season, and he's like, "We're gonna move everything to your house now." And so it went from a few hundred.
To the dads, they're like, send it to your partner.
Oh my gosh, my whole entire house. So I would, from like 7 to midnight, I would invite my in-laws over, and we would literally turn my entire house into a 3PL. destroyed my house.
Amazing.
But the kids enjoyed it, so it was fun. We built box forts. After packing everything, we just make a bunch of forts out of it, which is kind of cool.
I love that.
Just to wrap that up, like we're like, guys, let's not invent anything that's unnecessary as far as goals or things to worry about. We're just selling 100 hats at a time. We're running no ad spend. It's working. Let's just keep it as simple as possible. And it's still, 290,000 hats, but it's still just the three of us. Finally, an accountant, because we need to get
A full financial team.
and a 3PL.
Because taxes, yeah.
Yeah, because taxes.
Amazing. I love that. I love walking through airports, and it's almost every single time at an airport now, I see somebody with a dad gang hat on, and it's just there's like a game gets game. You look at the person, you look at their hat, and they're like, oh yeah, they know.
Oh, yeah, it's almost becoming the dad crown a little bit.
Yeah.
You see it, you don't even have to say anything. You're just kind of like, I see you. I
Yeah.
know what you're going through. All right, I know how much you love being a dad. And some of the collaborations we did with like Mookie Betts, that's all we talked about is like how joyous it is to be a dad. Less about being the #1 baseball player in the world. He wants to talk about being a dad.
Totally.
So it always became this like connection without even saying anything.
Yeah.
And so you'd walk by and you're like, oh, I see you.
That's amazing. Do you think, or actually, was there ever a strategy or it just happened to get the amount of impressions from people like Dak Prescott and Juan Soto wearing the hat? Was that just like, oops?
No. So like, the Juan Soto thing is crazy because he's not even a dad, but he's wearing.
And he walked into Hector's shop.
So this. Can I tell
let's tell the story. Yes,
quick?
please do.
So Hector texted me one day. He's in the Bronx. We're way out here, and he's like, a customer came in with a dad gang hat on. And we're like, dude, that's sick. That's crazy. How like, if you think about the journey of all this, how it ended up here. And then we started talking about how we were collaborating with one of the Yankees, and we sent some hats out. And he's like, Juan Soto's my favorite player, but he's never been in the shop. I've heard that he's kind of around. And then I get a video that he sends me of Juan Soto coming into his shop to order coffee from Hector the first time, wearing a dad gang hat. Which again, if you think about the logistics of all this, and then throw the caveat of him not even being a dad, I'm not quite sure like how that is, but so that is just what, and I guess Juan's probably supporting his teammate because we're looking at doing a collaboration with one of his teammates. But the Dak Prescott thing was a customer bought the hat because Dak is his favorite player, took it to training camp, gave it to him, and then there's a video of this, and he gave it to him. Dak was like, oh, I know the brand, throws it on his head, and he wears it the entire day, does all of his press conferences, and then what was it, like a week ago, he got signed for $240 million, and he's wearing the hat on ESPN everywhere. And so it's just, I think that's the depth of the community, is like the dad connection. They feel so strongly about being a dad, and Dak is a dad, and he wants to gift him a hat. And like that's something we couldn't strategize that even if we tried.
Amazing.
Yeah, so right before this, we had Post Malone wear our hat yesterday. And
as he does.
But
so random.
I just posted on Instagram like right before I came up here. But that was a fan that loves Post Malone, knows he has a daughter, super fan. She's part of like Facebook pages and stuff. And she got a hold of us after, and she thought she would love to give Post that as a gift. And so that she went to the show, found somebody in the pit that she didn't do it. She found somebody in the pit that was closer to him, gifted him the hat, and then he put it on at the meet and greet. And now it's like, I just posted it, it's like 100,000 views on our Instagram. But at the same time, it's like build the real community that does that. There is no influencer strategy that's like, let's seed it to his tour manager or this person. It's like, eventually some good things will happen when you build a meaningful community. And I think that's what's happening for us. It's not some like crazy influencer strategy.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dak, same thing with Mookie. Before we worked with him, his wife bought him some hats. Like that's how we work with people. There's no forced stress.
Yeah.
Let's go work with managers and agencies to make this happen. Let's just work with people that might already love the brand, and that makes things a lot easier.
I love that. Do you guys still scroll through the Shopify feed on the daily looking at who ordered?
I still have my notifications on.
Ooh, ouch.
I have to. I'm like, if I turn it off, it might break something. I'll
Yeah,
probably have
it's
to chill
bad.
with
Have
that.
you at least turned the sounds off?
Yeah,
Because
the sounds
Shopify
off.
used to go ping,
Yeah, the
ping
sounds
every time
off.
I got to order, and it was like really exciting. And then after a couple days, you're like, it sounds like a casino in here.
I ordered EJ a T-shirt on Amazon that says "I love notifications."
He really did. It's true. Went right to my fire pit.
Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious.
So this is how our group chat is too. It's like a bunch of razzing and having some fun because
We're really proper up here today.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You're just like casual. It's so good. What advice would you guys have for someone who's thinking about starting something, who has started something, who maybe hasn't quite fit that like either product market fit or is like trying to do the thing to get to the person, like over strategizing it or thinking about, hey, I got 10 grand in ad spend or 1,000 in ad spend. What would be your advice to somebody to market or brand or use social media in a way that you all have?
Yeah, you might want to touch on on that side, but like even just from the business structure side, is like don't overcomplicate it. Just start. I mean, we didn't have like a formed LLC at the beginning or anything like that. It was literally a few $100 each to go do this and have some fun, but we weren't gonna like create a whole company, spend all this money, and then hire a CPA and attorneys and all this stuff just to like see if it works. So it's if you're just starting like and you have a product you're passionate about, just start there. You can always catch up in due time, but I think always the hardest part is just starting because you overthink it. What is my strategy? How much money can I add here? It's like I got $10 today. All right, cool. We'll run with that. But just not overcomplicating it. I think I said it earlier, is our lives are complicated enough, especially as parents, juggling a ton of different things. And you don't need to invite unnecessary structure to something that's not completely formed yet.
Totally. I mean, it's kind of like the marshmallow challenge where the people who build the tallest towers are the ones who are tinkering and messing around and prototyping and versus like, let's map out the entire strategy, like an MBA, strategy.
And that usually doesn't work. It's a kind of some framework, but a lot of times if you build a strategy, it's not going to be to a T. It's just kind of give you some guidelines on where to go.
Yeah. How do you think about social?
Yeah, I would say stop listening to people on Twitter too much and on like business forums and stuff like that, because it's so easy to read information daily on how to start a business, but it's actually way easier to just get going. Think like 10, 20 years back, maybe 20, how hard it was to like source a product, how hard it was to spin up ads. You used to have to go to like TV stations and newspapers and radio stations, and like I don't think a lot of like entrepreneurs realize or want to be entrepreneurs realize that we are living in a time that it's never been easier to go. And we're very fortunate to live in the times that we do, that Shopify has a free plan, Klaviyo or Attentive have free plans, Facebook is free, Instagram is free. It's just all there for you to use. And I've done marketing consulting calls and stuff, and I have a lot of calls where people like will talk about their idea and it's great for an hour, and then it just never goes anywhere because there's too much thought and talk about it. Whereas when it comes to social, it's like those platforms are there, they're free. Start posting what you want to build every day and then show people the process of what you're building. I was in the garage with my pregnant wife packing boxes, dirty garage, no car in it, just boxes, and filming time lapses of that process and showing people that, hey, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I hope it works. And that is social content that people can actually get behind. Yeah. And to this day, I would say 95% of everything we ever post is shot on an iPhone. It's not, when we work with professional athletes, we do like professional shoots, but they're still with buddies that have cameras and lighting.
Yeah.
And we're not going out there and doing high production shoots. We're taking our iPhone. Hector's in the back with my phone right now.
Hector's helping us out today.
He's shooting this and we're going to post it later. Like, stop overthinking the content. It's just right here in your hand. If the iPhone's expensive, you can do $32 a month. There's different plans. Like, it's all right there for you. So just go instead of like questioning why this might not work.
Yeah, no excuses. Get after it. I love that you built so much content from the iPhone. And I feel like I personally learned a lot from you. Ejay and I were talking about social media, and ours is improving, it's getting better, and we're kind of going through, and our print facility that does all the decoration for so many of you captures every single one that comes off the line, and so we have this treasure trove of samples that were just sitting there collecting dust. And I was texting with Ejay, and he was like, man, why don't we just start doing some reels? And lo and behold, the reels where we're just showing the customer's artwork is getting way more views than like some post that we like paid a bunch of money for a photo shoot for, and it's like so ironic.
I mean, most of the posts he does, he'll grab the hat and he's like, oh, the lighting's nice.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's kind of it. And it posts, and then it may do well or it may not do well, but it's still content. I don't think you've missed a day.
No, I just kind of hold myself to posting once a day, even if it's 9:30 p.m. I'm like, I know some dads up with their kid and they're not going to sleep, so I'm posting it, and it could be 11 p.m. Like, just if you're building something that you love, just post once a day, and make that like a habit. And yeah, we posted every day since day one.
Love it. I love it. Well, let's clap it up for them. Thank you guys so much. I'm so proud of you guys.